Okay, the purpose of this video is basically show you start to finish how quickly you can go in, process some dental models, get them ready, and put them into the printer. I mean, it can be a pretty quick process, and I'm by no means a speed demon, but here's the entire process, start to finish. So let's go up here and we'll just start the clock, and it's running. So I'm going to import my files here to start. I have upper and I have lower, so I'm going to bring both of these in at the same time. It's going to make my computer think a little bit, maybe a little bit more. So obviously this is slowing us down as well. If your computer's quicker, you're going to save yourself, what, 15 seconds there. And so we're going to work on the upper, so let's go ahead and just turn off the lower for right now, and I'm going to get right into cleaning this model up. S for select, and the best way to do this, I think, is just the line here. X on a Mac to get rid of it, and I'll show you how to get rid of all these little spots here as we go. And just continue all the way around. I'm not going to explain the ins and outs of this too much because that's what the other videos are for. Again, this is just trying to get this done pretty quick. And knowing what I need these models for, most of this palette is irrelevant to me. So I'm going to get rid of it. Save me some resin down the road, and whenever I get these kind of crazy spots like that, I like to get rid of them too. Again, you can go as quick as you need to here. I'm going to try to see if we can get this all in and done in less than 10 minutes. I mean, that's how long it would take you to, even just a model in your lab for the most part. So if we can make that comparable on a computer, right, we're saving some pretty good time here. And you can be as picky as you want to. These models are just to be printed, right? I'm not too worried about anything else. You see this little guy hanging off over there? So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, get the whole thing. I'm going to hit I to invert. Now I select anything that's off. Hit X to delete it. I'm going to go in, zoom in on this area here, to use my brackets to bring my selector way down, and you saw it do it a second ago, but I'm going to select that entire border. Let's go over here to expand ring, make it a little bit bigger. We're going to optimize boundary. We're going to smooth this boundary. So this is an important step, as you'll see in some of my other videos. Smoothness I want all the way up. I don't really want any kind of jaggedness around that border there. And you see, boom, right off the bat, pretty good. I'm looking for any spots that look like it might be kind of hanging out there. I'm going to go into sculpt and find me a brush. Again, and just come down here and even further smooth this off. I don't want these kind of jagged edges here. They can just mess with the printing. And again, if I was making this for kind of a display or to give to a patient, I might take a little bit more time cleaning up these borders, these margins. But again, for the most part, that's just not necessary to just get a print going. I'm pretty happy with that, so let's go ahead and Command All. We'll go up here to Extrude. This is my maxillary model, right? So even though it's upside down here, I can flip it over just to make it a better reference for you. We're going to do 10 offset in the y-axis. I want it flat. I want to accept this. The model's inside out now for this maxillary. You'll see as we do the lower here, it's really not going to be necessary to do this, but we have to turn this one inside out because of all these lines. So again, Command A, select the whole thing, up to Edit, flip normals. That's going to flip it inside out so that the correct side is all the way out here. And we have a good model here, but I want these hollow as well. So we're going to go to hollow. Again, a little bit of thinking here. 2 to 3 millimeters is good. I usually like to go 2.5 just to be in the best area we can be, except let it do its thing. And now we'll plane cut to make sure that these are hollow models so that they're even more conservative on resin. And again, I just need enough to be able to get a suck down, a night guard made out of these, whatever it is. So once I get above the gingiva there, I'm going to be pretty happy with that. I mean, really no reason to have more than that. So let's go ahead and accept. That one's done. So we will export. Again, I'm going to call it example upper based, and that's my terminology to tell me that I am ready to go, binary format, and this one is ready for the printing software. So let's go ahead and switch views here. We're going to turn this on, turn that one off, and we're going to do the exact same thing again for the lower. Again, not much is going to be different here. I'm going to get my line, usually just the easiest, best thing for me to be using here. Good. X. I'll work all the way around again. X, and again, I'm sure there's people who are much quicker, and I'm sure there's shortcuts to this, but this is just a real quick thing. We're already about 5 minutes in, so I also want to get this into the printing software to just show you, literally set it up, put it on a USB, put it inside your printer, and you're good to go. This one, not a great scan here on the distal of this tooth, but again, for my purposes, it's going to work out just fine, but I don't want to obviously destroy that, so I'm being a little easy with my line here. You can see how I'm designing all of these lines, right? Always kind of coming in from a weird angle, getting everything that I need, and coming back out at a weird angle. That way I'm not selecting more than I need to. Obviously something here happened, so just kind of cleaning this up. Perfect. And again, if you remember, I don't really like that. Oops, see, that's why that can happen sometimes. That's why I do these weird angles. I'm deleting stuff, getting away from myself here. And so come in at an angle, take it off, back out at that angle. Good. If you remember last time, I did 1, 2, 3. Select the whole thing. I to invert to make sure if anything's off of here. X. Good. And what I didn't do last time was inspector. If I hit the I button, make sure that I don't have any holes here other than the base. We're good there. And we're going to go ahead and smooth this border now. We'll do select again, right down here. Perfect. Modify, expand ring, modify, optimize boundary, modify, smooth the boundary, and again, I want to turn this all the way up, make it as nice as I can get it. We're going to accept that. I'm going to zoom out and touch up again any of these little tiny spots that just might cause troubles, like this right through here. I'm not a fan of this, and I might actually go in and cut that back out. But you can just keep on smoothing, smoothing, smoothing. You see how that's going. Probably not the most efficient use of my time here, but not a big deal either. These kind of little pointy spots can give you troubles on occasion. Again, I'm being a little nitpicky here. I could be saving some time not doing this, but I want these to be kind of some decent models, right? I don't want to have them too jagged around it. Computer's starting to lag here. It's working a little bit, but we're good to go. Perfect. And you can see obviously there's some things in here that potentially we could, I can go and smooth this all down to make sure that it's going to print well. I don't know if these are artifacts on this or what, but that's something you want to be looking at as well. Good. So Command Alt. Let's go ahead and extrude. And now we're on the mandible, and so this is going to be one where we don't have to invert the normals again, but we are going in the negative direction, so we're going to do -10. Y-axis, flat, accept. You can see how quick we can do all of this, right? Really not an issue at all. And the more you do, the simpler it gets every single time. And again, it's about how nitpicky you are. I probably could have already been done with these. Really no issue. We'll do 2.5. Again, that's my preference. There's probably a way I can make that my default if I really took the time to mess with it. And accept, plane cut. Good. We'll get just enough for what we need, just below the gingival margin here. No need to waste any resin. Alright, it's probably plenty. Good. We'll accept that. And there's our model. Perfect. So let's go and export. We're going to do example, lower, based. Binary is already set. We're going to save these. Perfect. Now we're going to open up our software. I'm using the Anycubic Photon here. So we have these ready. So I'm going to do lower based. I'm going to drop that one in. I'm going to do the upper based. I'm going to drop this one in. You can see they're both there. Move them out of the way. If you zoom in, one of them's already on the platform, right? The other one is not. So I'm going to right click here, set this current face to the bottom, so it's going to flip it over for me. Bring this in, bring this one in. Perfect. All my settings are already in here, so essentially I just go to slice, and this is going to be where I want to save this. Usually it'll be on a USB drive, right? So I'm going to go save, slicing it for me, and onto a USB drive that I can then print. And so essentially we're done, right? Came in at 11 minutes here. The slicer's still going a little bit, and it depends on your printer at this stage because I'm inside of this software. But pretty simple, right? 10 minutes, we got 2 models. They look pretty good, pretty clean. I mean, you can go in there and do a suck down on here, a bite guard, whatever you needed to do with these at this point, and be pretty happy with them. So we'll stop this timer because I'd say we're done. But again, just slicing, doing what it needs here. This is all going to depend over here on the right side of your layer thickness. We're doing 100 microns here. Usually that's more than detailed enough for anything we're going to be doing in dentistry. It also prints a little bit quicker for us, which is nice. The exposure time, how long it takes to create this thing is all something that you need to be able to figure out, and we'll discuss in more depth in different videos, right? But it matters. And so here it goes. The estimated total print time is approximately 32 minutes. That's pretty good, right? And so you click OK, and you take out your USB, put it into your printer, and you'll print these guys up within a half an hour. So pretty good video. Could have made it a little bit better time, but about 11 minutes there. Go ahead and watch the rest of the videos to learn all of those little steps I did there, some troubleshooting along the way, but really it's pretty simple and you can get pretty quick at this. Again, and this is something that you can delegate fairly easily once you get to it, right? If you have a good assistant, they could do most of this, if not all of this, in some downtime. So there's the video.